worker has died after an incident at a potash mine near Esterhazy. A former Sask Express music director is charged with sexual assault of a minor. City Council approves Regina police budget.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. Saskatchewan's mining industry is in mourning today after a worker was killed in a tragic incident at Mosaic's K3 potash mine near Esterhazy. Connor Chan is in our newsroom with more tonight. Connor, what is the latest on this incident?
Lee, no new details on the incident, but as you mentioned, one worker is dead at Mosaic's K3 potash mine near Esterhazy. Now, the company says a fall of ground incident happened early in the morning, the underground section of that mine. That term is often used to describe some sort of collapse, although details on exactly what happened are not known right now. It did, of course, result in the fatal injury for one employee. However, no other injuries have been reported. The site, of course, was secured and all mining activity was temporarily halted while the mine's emergency response team was activated. And a full investigation is underway, and the company says that it's working closely with regulators. Mosaic also added in their statement saying, quote, "The safety and well-being of our people remain Mosaic's highest priority. Our thoughts go out to our colleagues, family, and friends, all employees, and the broader community." Well, the company also did not identify the worker, asking that the family be given privacy during this difficult time. The K3 mine is just located south of Esterhazy in eastern Saskatchewan. The town also releasing a statement on their Facebook expressing their condolences to the family, friends, and coworkers affected by the incident, adding that Mosaic is an integral part of their community and will continue, of course, to follow this story and bring you the latest when it becomes available. Lee?
All right, thank you, Connor. Connor Chan reporting live from our newsroom tonight. Well, Swift Current RCMP say a man from Gull Lake has died after a crash between a vehicle and a train. It happened around 11:15 p.m. Sunday night in Gull Lake, southwest of Swift Current. Police, along with local fire and EMS, responded to the scene. The driver of the car was declared dead on scene, identified as an 80-year-old man from Gull Lake. His family has been notified. No injuries reported by anyone on the train, and police do continue to investigate. A former music teacher with Sask Express has been charged with sexual assault of a minor, causing the company to cancel its latest production. Jacob Carr has the details.
64-year-old Jeffrey Salkett has been charged with both sexual interference and sexual assault of a person under 16 years of age. This following an investigation into an incident that occurred in July, where it was reported that a youth was touched inappropriately by Salkett, which led to his arrest on December 10th. He would make his first provincial court appearance on that same day. As a result of the charges, Sask Express made the decision to cancel their latest production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which was scheduled to run from December 12th to 17th. CTV News reached out to Sask Express for comment on the matter, but did not receive a response. The organization did make a statement on their website, saying, "We recently became aware of a situation involving an employee of our organization that has caused us significant concern. Out of an abundance of caution, we have canceled upcoming shows while we assess the matter. Our priority is maintaining a safe and secure environment for our community. We will provide updates as this process moves forward." Stemming from these charges, Sask Express has also removed Salkett's name from their website. Salkett is set to be spoken to at his next court appearance, which will be January 5th in provincial court. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
A new development for a teen accused of lighting a girl on fire in a Saskatoon high school more than a year ago. Keenan Sorkon has the latest.
A 16-year-old girl has pleaded guilty to attempted murder for throwing lighter fluid on a former classmate and setting her on fire. The Canadian press is reporting the teen, who cannot be named because of the Youth Criminal Justice Act, pleaded guilty this afternoon. The incident took place at Evan Hardy Collegiate in September of last year. The Canadian press is reporting the girl sat in court as the court heard the incident was a culmination of a friendship that spiraled into estrangement and harassment. The court heard last September the girl squirted lighter fluid from a water bottle over the lunch hour, and the flames quickly spread from the victim's hair to her face, shoulders, back, and then hands when she frantically patted her hair to put the flames out. The victim was hospitalized in serious condition. The court heard the two girls were friends for a period of time until the attacker lit the school library roof on fire, and the victim ended the friendship. The attacker had also harassed the victim, and the victim's parents called police police. The school was aware and arranged for the attacker and her bags to be searched. Shortly after the attack, the girl told Saskatoon police voices told her to do things prior to lighting her classmate on fire. A sentencing date has been set for February, where the Crown says it will no longer be seeking an adult sentence. Keenan Sora-Khan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Day one of city budget deliberations has come to a close at Henry Baker Hall, with the item receiving the most funding was up first. Donovan Mays has more on what the Regina Police Service will be getting this year.
It's kind of motto.
On the first day of city budget, councillors approving Regina Police Service's largest budget in its history, yet again with more than $116 million coming from the taxpayer.
We can't let our foot off the gas in terms of looking for efficiencies, ensure that we are being very diligent with the usage of taxpayer dollars.
The funding is a $7 million increase from what council approved for 2025, amounting for 2.2% of the forecasted 15.69% mill rate hike in front of councillors this week.
The -5 austerity budget that was asked to come forward, why was the Regina Police Service not asked to provide a -5 budget?
When I saw how much more money we were spending than the next comparative city, but I've struggled with the increases in the police budget for quite some time.
The motion passing narrowly with 6 in favor. Councillors Seekleys, Burton, Turnbull, Radens, Mancinelli, and Mayor Bashinsky.
I think we examined it pretty tight. You were told it was pretty tight. Not sure the reasons why you want to send it back.
And 5 against. Councillors Rashevich, Fro, Flores, Sakiniak, and Bizo.
Given the consistent increases that we've had, perhaps there is something else that we can look at the same way that we've asked of every other partner.
Extra due diligence to demonstrate, yes, the end result is the leanest possible budget for this year. I think it's a wise step to take.
Mayor Bashinsky says police have been handed the bill of growing social issues.
We need housing, we need supports, we need things to help navigate some of the workload that has unfairly been put on police that is not really a good fit to navigate away from that, so we have a better balance of an approach and a response to a lot of the needs in our community.
Councillors will now hear from more than 80 delegates speaking to the general operating budget as deliberations continue into Tuesday. Donovan Mays, CTV News, Regina.
And Sabine joins us for our first look at weather. I know that Guns N' Roses song November Rain, but we got December rain right now in the city of Regina, or at least we did.
No, we did, and I think just before coming in the studio, Lee, I checked Moose Jaw, still dealing with some light rain showers. Maple Creek, it's +12. It's a whole mix right now as we take a look at what we're dealing with when it comes to the weather in Saskatchewan. We also have some freezing rain warnings issued in the north, and right across the south, we are seeing wind warnings that have been put in place, expecting to see those winds gusting up to 90 kilometers an hour tomorrow, and at times coming down to about 70 kilometers an hour. Now, those high wind gusts are expected to stick around into Wednesday, where we could expect a snowstorm coming through the area. So it's just a whole mix of events that we're going to see over the next couple of days when it comes to weather. In terms of temperatures, like I said, currently sitting at +12 in Maple Creek, +1 in Regina, and that's the abnormal temperature trend where we're actually going to see these temperatures continue to warm up heading into tomorrow. Here's a look at what some of these wind chill values are looking like. And as we take a look at those temperatures, average is about -8, and we were sitting at, well, right now, +1. I'll have more in your full forecast. Lee?
Thanks, Sabine. An audit of Saskatchewan's special care homes is prompting the province to promise change. The auditor found facilities that house some of our most vulnerable population are rarely inspected. Laura Woodward has more.
Provincial Auditor Tara Clement reviewed how the Ministry of Health oversees special care homes. She found Saskatchewan's 161 facilities are inspected once every 3 years, and over 30 homes have not been inspected in the past 4 years. The auditor's report noted Ontario, Manitoba, and Alberta conduct inspections more often and mostly without warning. But in Saskatchewan, care homes are given about 4 weeks' notice before an inspection.
We did find instances where all of a sudden the care plans are updated. Doing unannounced inspections would be probably a better process to get a better sense and a true representation of what is the care that special care home is providing when the Ministry ministry goes on site.
Clement also found 5 special care homes had critical incidents in 2023 and 2024, but were not inspected until 2025. The auditor is calling for more frequent and unannounced inspections. She says homes with serious incidents, poor quality indicators, or complaints should be prioritized. And if issues arise during an inspection, Clement wants the ministry to follow up.
Right now, they're allowing those special care homes to almost self-report and say, we've fixed everything that you've asked us to. We would expect the ministry should go back and confirm that is the case.
The Ministry of Health says it values the auditor's recommendations and is making the changes suggested, creating a risk-based inspection model, conducting more unannounced inspections with follow-ups, and reporting the results publicly. Laurel Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The CPKC holiday train is rolling through Saskatchewan again later this week, but can't make stops in every community every year. Sierra D'Souza Butts tells us despite not being on the route this year, people in Qu'Appelle raised more than 4,000 pounds of food for families in need.
Businesses, seniors, and students in Qu'Appelle are all lending a hand this holiday season.
Figured that we wanted to get the community involved and ask them to come and give us a hand. We need some manpower.
To help people in need, and I like giving things to people.
What started out as one business donating to the town's food bank quickly grew to 40 businesses plus student contributions.
Last month we have done the 24 and 24 challenge, where we started by putting 24 items each in a nomination bin, and then we nominated another business in town. They came and they did their shop, brought 24 items in, and they nominated another business, and it has trickled into 40 plus businesses, groups, and individuals.
Over 4,000 pounds of food and $1,300 were raised this year, all going towards helping 40 families in the community.
We drive down Main Street, we see that there's a couple, but there are so many more, like over 40 businesses in a town with 650 people. It's amazing.
The Qu'Appelle 50 Plus Club, who helps organizes the town's food bank, says the initiative first started last year and has grown the second year around.
There's been many people involved, and then there's also some people don't want to buy the groceries, but they'll put a donation in, and that comes to the 50 Plus Club too, so that helps us too, because we put the main hamper together for the Christmas dinner.
Adding, it is great to see the next generation of volunteers already giving back to people in their community.
We're proud.
Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Qu'Appelle.
The Salvation Army is distributing toys donated through the annual Santa's Anonymous program. 10,000 items were collected to ensure that every child has a gift under the Christmas tree. As Wayne Mantica shows us, parents got to select the gifts for their children from a giant toy store.
This mom is selecting toys for her children from among 10,000 donated through the annual Santa's Anonymous program.
This is a very good for newcomers and also for low income. The kids are happy, they celebrate Christmas together. If they not, some families they don't have some enough income to buy some gift for their kids.
Toys used to be handed out gift wrapped, but no one knew what they were receiving. Now parents get to choose from rows of toys displayed at the Salvation Army.
With 3,219 kids registered on our list, with each averaging about 3 toys per, right? So that does get us to where we need to be. We're still short on board games though, but I think we'll make it.
The gifts come with a grocery gift card instead of the traditional food hamper. It lets parents choose what they wish to serve for Christmas dinner.
We transitioned more into a store, right? So families can actually come. They receive that dignity of being able to choose a toy for their kids. They receive a grocery gift card to a local grocery store, so that way they can provide some food for their families, whether that's a Christmas meal or whether that's just the need to fill up their pantries and their fridge.
Teams of volunteers help parents make their selections.
It's something that my mom and I do together, kind of thing. People think I'm nuts. I actually take time off work to come and volunteer for this kind of stuff. It's something that my mom and I do together, and we absolutely love it.
It's not too late to help out. Toys can be dropped off at the Salvation Army until Wednesday, or cash donations made at Salvation Army Kettles. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
After the break, mourning in Sydney after the mass shooting at Hanukkah celebrations. Plus, LA police arrest Rob Reiner's son for the death of the Hollywood icon and his wife. Anguish and anger after an anti-Semitic terror attack in Australia. A father and son targeting members of Sydney's Jewish community who are marking the first night of Hanukkah. 15 people are dead, including a 10-year-old girl, a rabbi, and a Holocaust survivor. Judy Trin has the latest.
Uniting hundreds of mourners 24 hours after a mass shooting on Bondi Beach. Violence that turned the celebration of Hanukkah into carnage.
Hundreds of people running and screaming off the beach. So I turned around and we just started running back as quick as we could back to our hostel.
At least 15 people were killed, dozens were wounded. The victims range in age from 10 to 87 years old. Among those killed, the rabbi leading the celebration, Eli Schlanger, who had relatives in Toronto.
He was just full of life, positivity. It was his mission to bring the light of Judaism into the world.
Authorities call the attack terrorism and anti-Semitic.
The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son.
Police aren't releasing the suspect names, but Australian media are identifying them as Sajid Akram and Naveed Akram. The father was shot by police and had immigrated in 1988 as a student. His son Naveed was born in Australia.
He was examined on the basis of being associated with others, and the assessment was made that there was no indication of any ongoing threat.
38 other people remain in hospital, but the death toll could have been much greater if not for a bystander. Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a local fruit vendor from Syria, tackled the older suspect and was also shot multiple times. 2 decades ago, Ottawa Rabbi Chaim Mendelson participated in the Hanukkah ceremony on Bondi Beach. He calls Ahmed a hero.
He is literally the light in the darkness. He is the silver lining of this story. He is the reminder that there is a safe future for all of mankind to live together.
In the aftermath of this attack, Australia's leaders are promising to tighten already tough gun laws, including putting limits on the number of guns a person can own, as well as reviewing licenses. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Families in Canada are being encouraged to get their children vaccinated against the flu after kids in the Ottawa region died from flu-related complications. CTV's Abigail Bidman has more on the vulnerable populations and a push by the medical community to get the shot.
This is good that we're getting our flu shot.
Renelle Shalafu and her 3 adult children get their flu shot together every year.
I think it's important.
In the first 2 weeks of December, 3 children between the ages of 5 and 9 died from influenza A-related complications across Ottawa and the wider region.
Unfortunately, this is a cluster that we had over the last couple of weeks within a certain region, which is rare. It's sad.
Officials say the cases are with the coroner and they don't yet know if the children had underlying medical conditions or whether they got their flu shot.
The strain this year is a more dangerous strain, a stronger strain if you'd like, and can cause severe complications in young children and in the elderly.
Ottawa's Children's Hospital saw 300 positive flu tests between December 1st and 10th. During the same period last year, there were just 11. Flu rates are up across the country. The latest data, only available up till December 6th, though, puts national percent positivity rates at 20.2%, highest in the Prairies and Ontario, while Ottawa's are at 36.5%.
Tragic reminder that we should be getting our influenza vaccines.
Dr. Isaac Bogosh says the flu kills between 2,500 and 3,500 Canadians each year.
People sometimes think influenza is just the sniffles or a little cough or a cold, and nothing can be further from the truth. It's a very significant viral infection.
The message to get vaccinated important ahead of the holiday season, with parties and gatherings and more people mingling from different places. Experts remind you to follow the basic hygiene rules, cough and sneeze into your sleeve, and consider wiping down high-touch areas like doorknobs. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Los Angeles police say the son of director Rob Reiner and producer Michelle Singer-Reiner is responsible in their deaths.
We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
Online records show Nick Reiner was booked by police in Los Angeles and remains in jail. The son has spoken openly about his struggles with drug addiction and homelessness over the years. Investigators say the couple was stabbed to death. Hollywood is now reeling. Rob Reiner, considered an icon whose career dated back to the 1970s. Coming up, it's day 9 of the 12 Strays of Christmas. Tonight, we introduce you to a dog named Chewbacca.
Tommy is basking in the Grey Cup glow. Tuesday on Your Morning, we're catching up with the Riders quarterback Tommy Stevens, who's hoping to run it back. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what you can expect heading into this evening. And the temperatures are going to continue to warm up as we head into the overnight. But by tomorrow, expect the winds to pick up. And by Wednesday, we've got snow and actually freezing rain to add into the mix. Currently, we're sitting at +1 in Regina. No wind chill to worry about, at least not yet. Winds have picked up slightly, just under 25 kilometers an hour. But there are wind warnings issued for much of southern Saskatchewan, all across the south there in the purple, and then we do have some freezing rain warnings issued for northern Saskatchewan areas closer to the Prince Albert area along there. Now they're going to be dealing with the freezing rain warning coming through later tomorrow, and then again the winds expecting to pick up tonight, gusting up to 90 kilometers an hour at that time. Most of those high wind gusts we could expect first thing tomorrow morning, but expect the winds still gusting up to about 70 heading into Wednesday as well. So heading into tonight, it's a little uneventful, not much to show you as we take a look at current conditions, mostly just the cloud cover, and we have a little bit of that mixed precipitation in and around the Lloydminster and Prince Albert area. And then heading into later this evening, that freezing rain continues, and that's where we're seeing those warnings. But heading into tomorrow is where we'll see the system bringing in rain. Parts of Regina and other parts of southern Saskatchewan, we could expect to see some of that rain early in the morning. By the time you're probably getting ready to go to work or heading out the door, we could see some scattered flurries in and around the Regina area and even in the Parkland. Wynyard expecting to see a bit of snow in that area as well. As that system clears out, we're going to be left with more cloud cover heading into Tuesday. By Tuesday evening, southern Saskatchewan, clear conditions. We'll still see some snow coming through the Prince Albert area. It's not until we get into Wednesday morning that we see that Alberta clipper making its way into the province. So most of southwest Saskatchewan, first thing in the morning, seeing mostly rain. Could see a little bit of that freezing rain mix, but by the time we get into the afternoon, it's just a blanket of snow that we'll see right across from Lloydminster, Saskatoon, Wynyard, and then further south we'll see more of that rain, freezing rain mix, especially in the southeast corner there. Regina will see a little bit of everything. First, to start with, rain, freezing rain, and then the snow arriving late in the afternoon. And it's just going to stick around for the rest of Wednesday, continuing to snow until we get into Thursday morning is when we'll see that system completely clear out and continuing to see the expected high wind gusts, which means that will affect the visibility, especially on the highway. This is between now and to tomorrow morning, so mostly northern parts of the province seeing that snow. From tomorrow morning into Wednesday morning, we slowly start to see that snow arrive by Wednesday morning into Thursday morning. This is where we're going to, again, you could see that band of snow coming mostly through this area. Now, in the Moose Jaw and Regina area, Regina could expect up to 20. Now this could change. Moose Jaw is seeing a mix of rain and snow, so up to 10 centimeters of snow, and then there's still a few millimeters of rain expected to come through that area as well. So the south is going to get a little messy with that rain-snow mix, but most of that heavy snowfall is expected to come through for Wednesday, and then we will see more more snow returning on Friday. Temperatures tomorrow, though, for some parts staying within that seasonal range. Saskatoon -13, mainly sunny, +3 for Yorkton tomorrow. The southwest also seeing above seasonal temperatures, above zero temperatures, and seeing that mix of rain and snow coming through for Maple Creek. +5 for Moose Jaw tomorrow, +6 for Weyburn and Estevan. Assiniboia +4, and for Regina -1. Winds up to 60 tonight, +2 in the overnight tonight, and winds up to 60. And here's a real quick look of what you can expect for your next 7 days. -1 tomorrow, 60-kilometer-an-hour winds. Snow all day Wednesday, windy up to 70 there. -18, mainly sunny Thursday. Snow and wind returning Friday, winds up to 70 again. But seasonal temperatures by the weekend, we're close to -20, -19 sunny on Saturday, -18 on Sunday, and by Monday, high winds up to 50 and -17 is your high. On day 9 of 12 Strays of Christmas, and we're checking back in with our friends at the Regina Humane Society. Bill is joining us, and Bill, you might have a little shy friend joining us with you. Who do you have there, Bill?
Yeah, this is Chewbacca. He's about 5.5 years old, and as you can see, a little bit shy. This is the first time we've really spent together. We went for a bit of a walk around the shelter, and he's already kind of warming up a little bit, but our staff tells me that once he gets to know you, and it doesn't take long, he's ready to go. But he's still getting used to me, but very, very nice guy. Very, very handsome dude as well. And his adoption has been fully sponsored by a generous member of our community, so there's no adoption fee for the adopter, just that $25 license fee if you live in Regina.
Chewbacca sounds or looks like, I shouldn't say sounds like a chill dude, but does look like a chill dude that would want to maybe have a chill household to be joining?
Well, I think, if you want to take it slow at first, for sure, just let him get used to his new surroundings. We've had a couple of dogs walk by us here in the last few minutes. He didn't react at all, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I think just give him the time he's going to need to settle in, explore around, do some sniffing, and make sure he understands where he's at. And then I think he's going to be fine. So a slow introduction to the new family will be the winning ticket for this guy.
So if anyone is interested, especially by that wonderful name that he's been given, if anyone's interested in Chewbacca, Bill, what do they need to know, and how can they go about getting the adoption underway?
Well, you can just come down to the shelter. We're open for adoptions Tuesday through Sunday from noon until 6 p.m., and you do not need an appointment. We'll get you to fill out a little bit of paperwork to get to know you a little bit and see if we can't match you up with the perfect pet for you. And as I say, Chewbacca he's been here for a couple of weeks now. I think he's ready to go home. Don't think he speaks any Wookiee, but you can work on that once you get him home.
I was going to ask you if you spoke any, but we'll leave that for another day. There's two quick questions I do want to ask you, Bill. Just a quick update on what our adoptions are looking like. I know the first week we had a lot get picked up, but last week we had some very cute ones that I was certain we're going to see get picked up. Is there a chance that they could still be given a forever home if they're still there?
Well, absolutely. I think the strays that we had on the first week have all gone, and I think last week we haven't seen any of them go home yet, but we've still got another week of the 12 strays at Christmas, and it was a bit of a slow week last week for adoptions overall, maybe because of the cold weather and stuff, so hopefully we can make up for that this week.
Well, this is the season for giving as well, Bill. Did you want to touch on some of the fundraising we are looking at when it comes to the Regina Humane Society?
Yeah, absolutely, Sabine. This is a very important fundraising time of the year for us. We see the biggest season of the year for that, and this year is no exception. We do have our 50-50 holiday 50-50 going on right now. You can buy tickets for that on our website. I think it's up to about $15,000 now, or more even since I last checked, and also our Christmas catalog, where you can purchase specific items that we need at the shelter pretty much each and every day all through the year, and that's on our website as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bill. Hopefully we find a forever home for more of these adorable adoptables we've been checking in, and we'll chat again tomorrow.
You bet. We'll get her done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
12 Strays of Christmas brought to you by Flooring Superstore. Quality flooring at great prices.
Still ahead, Regina Pat's first-round pick Maddox Schultz scores his first ever WHL goal in his hometown.
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
WHL, a milestone moment for local product Maddox Schultz on the weekend as the Pats hosted the Kelowna Rockets.
Left-wing circle, Liam Pugh across the slot, Zach Lansard loads, centering pass, stop, rebound, scores!
Schultz scored his first ever WHL regular season goal on a power play in the first period. He would add another in the third period, but the Pats did fall 8-5 to Kelowna. Schultz has 6 points in 10 games, while fellow first-rounder Liam Pugh has 9 points in 16 games.
Puck on Will Sharp. Karimov finds Mays in the slot. He shoots. Scores!
Regina Pats making a move today. They sent 18-year-old forward Julian Mays to Calgary for 2 third-round picks. Mays was the team's leading scorer with 14 goals and 31 points in 30 games. Now, despite this looking like the Pats are going to be sellers, Pats GM Dale Durkach said in a statement that the plan moving forward is to use the draft picks in this trade period and over the last 2 years to help as well, stating the goal, essentially, still to make the playoffs. Hockey Canada has unveiled a national blueprint aimed at transforming the women's and girls' game across the country. It comes with an ambitious goal of seeing 170,000 players registered by 2030 and putting more women in leadership positions like head coaching spots. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
Hockey Canada released its Rise as One report, a focus on the women's game with 14 national recommendations to grow and improve the sport from the grassroots to the highest levels.
The need for girls hockey and the demand for girls hockey is there. What we are saying is we just can't just expect year over year. We have to make dramatic changes in order to continue to blow through these type of goals.
At its core, the report calls for a national standardized youth development program with stronger national oversight. Nova Scotia's Corey Chevry has seen the game from every angle as a player at St. Mary's University and now as a coach with the women's national team and as head coach of the Montreal Victoire in the PWHL.
I think we still continue to see growth in the women's game across the country, and being from the Maritimes and the Atlantic provinces, we're seeing growth there as well, not only with players but coaches, officiating, and bench staff.
The blueprint is pushing to grow leadership opportunities for women in the sport while also giving girls the same chances as boys to get on the ice and develop their skills.
Well, there wasn't really any just for girls organizations. It was mostly girls would just play on boys' teams.
St. Mary's forward Jill Duggan is in the final stretch of her university hockey career. She grew up playing competitive hockey with the boys until she was 13.
I honestly wouldn't change anything.
Across the country, 115,000 girls were registered in minor hockey last year. By 2030, Hockey Canada wants that number to climb past 170,000. Dugan has seen the sport evolve, and putting the women's game in the spotlight will help.
When I was younger, I looked up to girls on the Canadian team, but now they have an actual league.
The PWHL is coming to Halifax on Wednesday with Montreal taking on Toronto. It's a chance to see the best in the world.
It's just going to open the eyes. It's going to set dreams higher. It's going to really push the boundaries of what is possible in the Maritimes.
Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Still ahead, PV Mart is returning to 2 Saskatchewan communities.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your forecast for the rural forecast for tomorrow. Expecting snow through parts of the east here, Hudson Bay, Wynyard and Melfort, all expecting to see snow. Temperatures, though, still above the seasonal norm and also above 0 for some parts. So Wynyard expecting to warm up to 0 with snow there. Melfort -6. A little cooler in Lloydminster, Spiritwood at -12, -16 for Meadow Lake, mostly cloudy, and -3 for Outlook with a mix of sun and cloud. The closer we get to the southern border, the warmer those temperatures get. +4 for Assiniboia, +5 for Coronach and Rockglen, +2 for East End Cypress, and +2 for Maple Creek. Maple Creek expecting to see that mixed precipitation, though, of rain and snow. And over in the east, rain for Broadview, +4 expected there, +4 for Carlisle, and snow, and +2 for Kenora. If we take a closer look at Hafford, which is located about 70 kilometers east of North Battleford, -11 is the expected high tomorrow, with a mix of sun and cloud. No precipitation expected in the area tomorrow, but the winds are expected to be gusting up to 60 kilometers an hour.
The incident happened on November the 6th, 2025, between the hours of 11:45 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. at a public facility on Rochdale Boulevard. A man stole both credit cards and debit cards from unattended personal property at the facility. The man then used the stolen cards at local businesses within the city. The suspect is described as a man wearing a blue medical mask, a black hat, black jacket, black pants, and black shoes. He also had a beard. The man is believed to have been driving a dark-colored Mazda SUV.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member for Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers would pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Well, for more than half a century, Regina's Marian Center has been serving free meals in a heritage neighborhood. It's one of the city's longest operating soup kitchens. Now, other charities in the neighborhood are offering some similar services, prompting the Marian Center to make adjustments. Wayne Mantico reports.
Marian Center is a place where people come to warm up and enjoy food and friendship.
In general, they're great people, and Marian Center's been around for years, and I hope it's going to be here for many more.
The Catholic charity has been helping Regina residents since 1966.
Pulled outside. And their service is great. They help out a lot of people.
Many needs are met.
People come to our door asking for food, so we have all this stuff here.
Marian Center is joined in the neighborhood by other charities like the Food Bank, the Salvation Army, and Carmichael Outreach. Marian Center recently paused to reflect on its role in the community.
And one of the principal reasons is that the Carmichael Center does a noon meal Monday through Friday, and they're serving a lot of folks. We were doing a noon meal just 60 yards north of them up the alley, and so that was a duplication.
Marian Center has ended its long-standing tradition of a noon meal. It now serves a mid-morning breakfast with an even greater emphasis on making a connection with those it serves.
You see families coming, not just the men, the older men. You see families, younger people coming now. So I think there's a message there.
Marian Center's approach is being well received as Regina charities adjust to changing needs in the community. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Peavey Mart is returning to Saskatchewan, and that includes the city of Yorkton. The hardware and agricultural chain says stores will be coming back to Yorkton and Assiniboia as part of its next round of openings. There's no exact reopening date at this point, but the company says it has a target of spring 2026. Peavey Mart's first set of returning stores opened in Alberta last week after the company went into creditor protection and closed all 90 of its locations earlier this year. Originally projected to open this year, Cargill is pushing back the opening of its canola crush facility until the spring. When the project reached 50% completion last year, the company said it was aiming for a 2025 opening. Now that opening is expected in spring 2026. But construction is progressing well, according to a new statement from the company. It's the lone survivor of several canola projects in the Regina area that have fallen through in recent years, given uncertainty in the market. Let's take a look at your farm market boards. Canola street price is up $1.30 to $543, 2 cents per ton, while the futures price is down $2.70 to $615.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat stayed the same, $282.27 per ton, while red spring wheat was down $1.89 to $244.59 per ton. Feed barley stays the same, $213.59 per ton, while flax is $626.04 per ton. Price is courtesy of Bunge. The markets, TSX dropped 43 points, while the Dow Jones dropped by 41 points, so slightly for both. The Canadian dollar, it went up a little bit, 0.03 of a cent to 72.63 cents U.S. On a commodity front, gold up $5.38. West Texas Intermediate crude down 83 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude was down 37 cents. So far right now, gas in Regina Regina has taken a bit of a dip again. It's sitting at $1.24.9 per liter.
Hello there. Stocks moved slightly lower on Wall Street and Bay Street today amid ongoing worries that the investment boom in artificial intelligence has gone too far. However, shares are near the record highs they posted late last week. U.S. chipmaker Broadcom dropped again today, as did Oracle. Investors are awaiting crucial U.S. job numbers for October and November. That release is set for tomorrow after a delay caused by the government shutdown. Gold traded near all-time highs, boosting shares in Barrick Mining to a record. The Bank of Canada's next interest rate decision is on January 28th, and traders expect the bank to keep rates unchanged until at least October, when they see a possible hike. And finally, the Nutcracker is pretty well everywhere at this time of year, and no wonder. This is ballet's big money spinner. Business website morningbrew.com says the show, quote, serves as a crucial lifeline for dance companies. The seasonal favorite, in which the Mouse King gets his comeuppance, accounts for about half of the yearly sales at American ballet companies. The show's debut in 1892 in St. Petersburg, Russia, was a flop, despite the score by Tchaikovsky. But it became a staple after the New York City Ballet staged a production in 1954 with spectacular choreography by co-founder Georges Balanchine. The New York City Ballet says lavish special effects cost the company $140,000 US per performance. Those are your business headlines. I'm Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, St. Denis Medical, followed by The Big Bang Theory, just once. Boys Today to Tracker at 10, and then you've got your news coming up a little later on. All right, today kicks off the annual Christmas campaign for the Al Ritchie Community Association.
Yeah, aside from the usual food and warm clothing services, Christmas boxes with hygiene products and toys were given out. The community center sees approximately 4,000 food bank recipients per month and is expecting to see up to 400 people per day leading up to Christmas. The association is still accepting food, Christmas gifts, and cold weather gear donations. So local hockey fans did their part with over 2,000 stuffed animals donated Saturday as part of the Regina Pats 29th Teddy Bear Toss game.
And it's Fighters score!
The Rockets jumped out to a 2-0 lead before this goal, but the Teddy Bear Toss frenzy about the 10-minute mark. Although the Teddy Bear Toss has been celebrated by the team for nearly 3 decades, is also, of course, a tradition across the WHL, and a large portion of the stuffed toys will be donated to the Salvation Army and other local charities. The Pats will play their final game before the holiday break, December 17th, when they host the Prince Albert Raiders. Some big bears that fell on the ice there. Yeah. Gotta love the Teddy Bear Toss. And the thing is, I think it's the second admission you haven't scored. Gotta throw them on the ice. Anyway, here is your dad joke, Christmas deck. What's the difference between the Christmas alphabet and the ordinary alphabet?
Gord? Christmas alphabet, regular alphabet.
Yeah.
Jingles. Jingle.
The Christmas alphabet has no L.
What?
J-K-L-M and no L. No L, no.
Wow, that I did not like.